Spencer.
Back in the
Sorry.
mid-90s.
Back in my day.
When I didn't have a PS1 or anything, or even an N64, quite frankly, I played a game with my friends called Twisted Metal 2 that I really, really loved. And it was just a great multiplayer game. And we spent hours just trying to beat that game. I don't know if we ever did. Maybe we did. I don't know. It was a hard game. Very hard. And then now we're doing PS2 month. I was like, I'm going to go revisit that and try to rekindle some of those glory days and play Twisted Metal Black.
Yo, the priest drowns a baby without knowing it.
This game is very dark, both literally and figuratively. Every character I've seen in it, and I haven't played enough, but every character I've seen is just very edgelordy. Like, it's definitely that time frame. They were just obsessed with being as gruesome and dark as possible. And the levels themselves are very dark. It's very hard to see sometimes. They all seem to take place at night, and just, I mean, I haven't seen all the levels, but that's just what it seems like so far. And the game is very hard. Holy shit. I tried to play this one. I had to set it to easy, and it's still incredibly difficult. What I noticed was different was that your lives reset at the end of each level, at least in the easy difficulty. So I was a little bit thrown off when you start out with 3 lives, and then you get them all back on the next level. So it's really just you resetting that. In the old games, you just had a set number of lives and just tried your best going through the levels like that. I should just state what Twisted Metal is, just in case there's like 5 people that don't know what it is. It's a car combat game. There's not really racing. It's just pure combat through cars, and they're different cars at different stats. You've got cars like an ice cream truck, which is the most famous one, called Sweet Tooth. There's a cop car. There's like a, just, I'm not a big car guy, so I can't tell you the make or anything of them, but just Thumper, Warthog was my big one on Twisted Metal 2. It's a tank. And then there's trucks. So you have different cars, you have different, strengths, like being big and slow or being fast and small and weak. There's a guy on a motorcycle called Grimm? Mr. Grimm?
Yep.
Yeah,
Mr. Grimm.
Mr. Grimm.
I hated that character as a kid. I think I still do.
Oh, I love Mr. Grimm.
But and then there's of course Axel.
Axel's awesome. Axel's fucking. I loved Axel. Axel's my favorite.
He kind of bucks the trend of being a normal car and is a guy who has his arms attached to 2 like wheels, and he just runs around like this and looks like he's in immense pain. So that's Axel. It's really weird. But anyway, so yeah, it's a car combat game. You pick up collectibles, you pick up rockets and explosives, and each character has special weapons, and just consider it an arena battler to the death. So, yeah, Twisted Metal Black carries on that tradition, I think, in a good way. So it's been interesting playing it because I have such mixed opinions of it. I really, really like it. It's actually, once you understand the game a little bit and get the hang of the controls, it's pretty fun. Like, it retains the thing I like about Twisted Metal 2. Twisted Metal 2, to me, was the pinnacle. They went with 3, which I didn't hate, but also there were some things about 3 I didn't particularly like. And I heard that there was a 4. I don't think I ever played it. I don't recall ever playing 4.
Yeah, 3 and 4 are by different developers too.
Yeah, and they're considered kind of the black. Well, I don't know about the black sheep.
And Small Brawl.
Yeah.
They're considered the lesser of the series. One thing I liked about 2, and I actually really liked about 3, was the soundtrack was more taken from like real music, and there was all like heavy metal and dark and all that shit. Twisted Metal Black goes a different direction and has more atmospheric music and more traditional music you would see. But actually, the soundtrack's pretty good. The music is pretty thumping, and it might not be like Power Man 5000, but it's still got its own strength. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The graphics look nice. I think this was earlier PS2, so they weren't firing on all cylinders on the graphics yet, but it doesn't look terrible. It is very dark, which certainly helps make games look better. Maybe that's why they specifically went with the dark theme. One thing I liked about the other games was that they were actually pretty bright. This one, no. It's all dark.
It's called Twisted Metal Black for a reason.
Yeah, I don't know what I was expecting, but it's very, very hard, though. That's one of the things that's struggling to me, and I was kind of angry at the AI because in this game the cars very clearly do not care about each other. They kind of just care about killing you. And maybe I was always wrong about the ones on 2. Like as a kid, I just didn't piece it together. Maybe the AI was like that. I don't remember. But in Black, it's very, very clear they do not actually battle each other. They just want to kill you. So I kind of wish it was more as a tournament instead of just everyone trying to kill you. I think that would add to it. And playing it with that in mind, I was thinking like this game would do really, really, really well with the like Fortnite style battle royale. They should really bring this back and make it into that. I think it would be freaking awesome to have something like that online.
They kind of tried to bring it back on PS3, but I think it didn't do very well. So they had like a PS3 version.
I saw
Twisted
that.
Metal.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, I didn't even realize they made one for PS3.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's pretty solid a game. I don't think it was a wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, I've played a little bit of the PS3 one. The gameplay itself isn't bad, but the problem I had with it is that it has like lacking of characters. There's like literally only 3 characters in the game, and then you have to like switch your cards. Like, it was so stupid. Like that was the thing I didn't like.
Yeah, Sweet Tooth, Mr. Grimm, and Dollface. Those are the only characters.
And then you just pick any car you want. So it's like, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, very straight. So like the online, which was, I get what they were trying to do. So the online for that game, you picked factions. So you picked which of the 3 characters you were gonna be like under their faction. You could be like Clown, Sweet Tooth, or a Reaper, or Dollface, your girl, whatever. But I think they could have done that with still like and like retain the other playable characters, because like if you lose the roster, you kind of lose half the fun of the games.
Yeah, that's interesting that they did that. I'm kind of disappointed, but I guess they tried something different, didn't work, and that's unfortunate that they didn't keep going with it.
Well, also the creator of the series, David Jaffe, he basically just said, "Fuck gaming, I'm just gonna become a YouTuber now." Yeah, that's a whole other story.
It sounds like you guys know more about Black than I do. So when playing 2, I liked that at the end the games turned into, it was almost like the Twilight Zone, but for like really depressing stories. Like for instance, there was a guy that always wanted to be watching TV, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time since I played these games, so bear with me. But he said he just wants to spend his time watching TV for the rest of his life. So the catch was that he was placed in front of a TV and his eyes were held open by these little things, and he had to just sit there for the rest of his life with his eyes were caught open, which is it's whatever you be careful what you wish for kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's kind of always the thing with like you win, you get your wish with Calypso, and then it's like. It's kind of like, oh, you got your wish, but at what cost? It's always, it's always like something terrible.
Yeah. They made a song about it. It's called "With Eyes Wide Open."
Yeah, exactly.
Good job, Caddy.
With eyes wide open.
Do you know anything about the sequel to this?
No. Tell me.
I actually have the PS2 version of Head On, which is a PSP game, and the PS2 version actually comes with like some different like documentaries and stuff like that. So the sequel to Black, I forget what this was called, like something Harbor. I forget what the name was. It was canceled because a lot of the staff like died in like a plane crash. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They actually released what was finished is on the PS2 version of Head On, because they wanted it to be out there somewhere. You can kind of look at it, and they show things that were supposed to be like a thing, like like Sweet Tooth was supposed to be like walk around like adventure levels and stuff. And there's maps that they finished, but they just. Where a lot of the team passed away, they just weren't going to finish the title out of respect. They just weren't going to do that. They're like, this is what got finished. Just check it out. And it's just like it's a lot. I've played that PS2 version a lot, and Head On's okay. It's a fun Twisted Metal game. It's more goofy with the style, but. I've got in there a ton just to like look at what was finished with the second Black game, and also like they have like documentary interviews with people and stuff about the series, and like I put it on like tons of time just to look at that stuff because it's super interesting. Cause that was like before the internet was really like a big thing. Now now you can go on YouTube and they're like every Monday it's like fucking Digital Gaming is like here's a thing you didn't know existed, but like this is like canceled content, like cut content that's just like nobody was supposed to see, You know,
Wow.
it's just like, here you go.
Yeah,
That's so
I had
depressing.
that game too, the head on PS2, and yeah, I remember it actually being pretty cool.
That's so depressing. That's sorry to hear. That's a shame because the series is actually. I mean, you think it would age kind of well too. Like they could. I mean, the PS1 games are pretty brutal, to be honest. Like if you tried
Yeah.
playing them, it's kind of rough. So Teddy, I don't recommend it. But just
Thank you.
it's something to look into. Like we'll just look at videos and be like, oh, that's kind of cool.
That clown on the cover of the first one traumatized me. I was like, I'm never gonna play this.
I love Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, no, I thought it was creepy as shit too.
I was like, why would I pick this as a game to play to put in my console?
But you think like the concept would really transfer to today?
That
think
sounds
it would-
great.
yeah,
like combat cars.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Like what does
I
everybody
will-
know about Mario Kart? They know that you can shoot fucking turtle shells at each
Well,
other.
this is basically like Mario Kart Arena mode, but with guns and missiles
Yeah.
and death and violence. Well, and I think if they would have continued on with the Black Series and then went on from there, I think the series could have became something bigger, because this was PS2 era especially was like the era of like senseless violence and edgy bullshit.
Yeah.
I think of like the Mortal Kombat games at that time, or like God of War.
Yeah.
Like this was the era of like, I don't know, just fucking violence. This whatever. So I feel like the series could have gone somewhere. We would have saw like kind of like like how God of War just kept going through PS3. Now they had the PS4 reboot and everything. We could have seen something like that, and of course they tried on PS3 with their with Twisted Metal reboot, but I don't know. I feel like after Black it was just kind of like lost.
Yeah, what was I gonna say? Well, first of all, I love the early 2000s. It's like edgy shit. I love that shit. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I love
keep
it.
talking. I'll be right back. Keep talking.
Yeah, no, but I love that shit. I don't care. But what I was about to say about Twisted Metal Black was that it actually is one of my favorite entries in the series, believe it or not. Like, I always thought it was my favorite, for not just because it's like dark and edgy and blah 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 blah. No, I actually still think the gameplay in it is still like a lot of fun. I like the levels; some of them are pretty cool and pretty huge. And yeah, the game,
they're huge.
yeah, the game is hard, but I feel like the hardest parts for me are really the boss fights. I think those are the hardest parts, but the actual like other parts are usually not too bad, except for that. Except for the snow level. The snow level was hard because you can like fall off the ledge and shit, and it was like really small.
I think the thing that kind of bothered me with it, and it's not necessarily wrong with it. It's just a sign of the times, and that's why I think it would do well if it was like a battle royale style situation.
Oh yeah,
is that I think once you memorize the level a little bit, it becomes a lot easier. Like that's how I
Yeah.
noticed when I was playing it. Is I would do the level and be like, this is freaking hard. Be like, oh, that's where the heal is. Okay, and that's where I can get the rocket that I need. And then it just
Yeah.
becomes like, okay, I'm gonna shoot stuff. Okay, go heal, and I'm gonna go shoot people with rockets. And once you get that rhythm, it just makes a lot more sense. But I think it'd be nice to turn on its head and make it like more randomized and more.
oh yeah,
yeah.
I agree. I think that'd be really cool. Another thing I liked about Black was that it actually had a lot of like Easter eggs that you can do. Like I remember there was like one to unlock a character, you had to like shoot like a plane that was in the background.
yeah,
Like
there's
it
a
was
lot
some
of that.
crazy shit like that. I was like, damn, like that's
Dude,
kind of cool.
Twisted Metal's always doing those like crazy, like if you shoot something, it reveals something. Like it's always about violence, but if you like blow something up, then you can see like a cool picture or something.
Yeah, yeah.
love
So
that.
I always thought that was cool. But yeah,
I wanted to. Sorry.
oh, I was going to say, yeah, I always wish that they would have continued the series, but yeah, given that the creator of the series, like, yeah, like I said, he just said fuck video games now, so I don't think they will do a new, or if they do a new one, that probably would be like some other guy working on it or some other new IP. I think there is a game. Was there like a game on PS5 that came out that's sort of like a Twisted Metal game, kind of?
Something All Stars, right?
Yeah, isn't that-
City Slam? I don't know. City Slam. I don't know what it's called. But it's like you can get. It has cars. You can get out and stuff, and I don't know. It looked okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that game just looked kind of okay, but I think that's, like, the closest thing we'll ever get to, like, a modern Twisted Metal, though, unfortunately.
Ever since Spencer mentioned it earlier, I wanted to go grab this. Are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Power Man
Oh, yeah.
5000.
Power Man 5000. There
Nice.
it is.
Not gonna lie, they got some good stuff.
I was like, I think I have this CD somewhere.
That's funny.
Does it have the song from Shadow the Hedgehog on it?
No, this is 90s, so it's got like When Worlds Collide.
Oh, yeah,
okay,
when worlds
yeah.
collide.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
That's the fucking Tony Hawk, you know, at that point. Baby,
Yeah.
baby.
It was in Tony Hawk, and I think it was in the first SmackDown vs. Raw.
Nice.
That's like, that is one of the sounds of the 90s.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.